Does retatrutide increase your metabolism? So think about your metabolism isn't broken. It's an outdated software. And if you think about that for a second, what do we do with our phones when they become slow, or our computers? We upgrade the operating system. And so if you've hit a plateau and you're frustrated and you feel like every time you look at something sweet, then you put on weight, and then you do a diet and then the weight comes right back on, and every year you feel like your body's working against you. I talked to a client yesterday, and she said every year for almost 30 years, it's just been this slow creep of 3 to 5 pounds. And now she is nearly 80 pounds heavier than what she ever imagined she'd be. And I told her, this is not a moral failure. It's not permanent. It's just your system was running on an old program. And so program of your body installed during a time of scarcity to keep you alive, and it has no idea how to thrive in 2026, where food's available at every gas station. Anytime you need it, you can just click a button and someone will show up with a meal. It's pretty amazing. But what if you could actually upgrade the program and not just restricting calories, but fundamentally change the code that governs how your body generates and spends energy? Now, I'm Regan Archibald, and this is something I'm so passionate about because I believe health is the ability to have a great lifestyle, to generate energy, and to do fun things. And retatrutide is one of these peptides that can literally upgrade your entire metabolic system. And most people are looking at it in a different way because it's not actually just increasing your metabolic rate, but it doesn't just make you eat less. It makes your body use more energy more effectively so that you have better focus, better clarity, better digestive functions, and you're down-regulating a lot of systemic inflammation in your body. And so this is what separates people who use it intelligently from a prescribing physician, getting it from a compounding pharmacy, or by the way, research use only pharmacies. There's no pharmacist in there. So you want to make sure that it comes from a pharmacist that you can reach out to. And once retatrutide is there, you'll understand this metabolic effect, why it's such a big deal. But the first thing you want to do is understand the problem that it's solving, because this problem has frustrated clinicians and patients for decades. And here's the fundamental challenge. It's the human body is extraordinarily good at defending its current weight. This isn't a design flaw. This is survival, and it gave us an advantage for 99% of human history. So you drop a pin in 2026, and wow, we've gone from food being scarce, times of survival where we've gone fasting for long periods of time, and our bodies learned how to hold on to fat as storage. So if you have a little extra, just think of that as energy storage, because the ones that would burn through their reserves, they died first. So we evolved to be this excellent metabolic adaptation. But now the metabolic adaptation, when we have calories in all the time and we have these interesting videos to watch, like Regan talking on YouTube, now our basic metabolic rate is causing us to burn fewer calories, and it's just storing energy, and it decreases our responsiveness even when we have this caloric restriction. So a lot of times we think, well, if we cut 500 calories a day from your diet, then it's roughly 3,500 calories. You're going to start losing weight and you'll compensate. You cut more calories, your body adapts a little more, and you start losing the weight. And this is this physiological arms race, and your biology almost always wins. But the problem is, in that model, this caloric deficit, there's other signaling. Remember, your biology is all about inputs and outputs. And yes, while a caloric deficit may be important for a certain period of time, if you do that too long, now your adaptive machinery is going to start being more powerful than simple caloric restriction, because it's not that people lack willpower, it's because you have this restriction in your body that doesn't allow you to turn on that fat-burning engine. This makes it really important if you're looking to lose a significant amount of weight. And we have a motto, like anything worth doing is worth doing well. And so at Ageless Future, one of the things we've learned is when you're looking at the metabolic rate, and if you're in a caloric restriction for too long, your body goes into this famine mode, and then you'll experience this downward trajectory in energy. And yes, you may lose weight initially, but now your thyroid kicks in because your adrenals are stressed because you don't have food. and now you haven't been eating the protein, and so you lose muscle mass. And we saw that in the studies with Ozempic, even tirzepatide. The thing that you're fighting against is, why not turn on that metabolic engine? And so this is where retatrutide is really important, because what it does, it's a triple agonist. So you've got the GLP-1, so you reduce the calories, but not to the point. I mean, it's a very small pulse. And that's the beautiful thing about peptides. These are just these brilliant engineering feats where you get this signal and this pulse right on the surface of the cell. So GLP-1 calms down that hunger response. The GIP helps stabilize the insulin sensitivity so you can get sugar right into the cell. The glucagon, this third receptor, what it does is it turns on this gene called PGC1 alpha. And PGC1 alpha is where you get more mitochondrial biogenesis. That's where you start turning on the engine. Glucagon also increases your blood sugar. So if you think of blood sugar stability and you think of metabolism, when we run your blood labs, the first four markers, and I know many of you have ran labs with us, so you can pull out your labs, but the first four markers is glucose, A1C, so that's hemoglobin A1C, fasting insulin, and C-peptide. And so what retatrutide is doing is, if you have too low a blood sugar, now your adrenal glands kick in cortisol. Now you're in a stress response. And that triggers what's called gluconeogenesis. So now your body is breaking down proteins for an energy source for glucose. When that happens for too long, now your thyroid gets the signal, hey, Regan's in the starvation mode. We need to turn down the energy that's being expended because he's losing fat now. And once your thyroid does that and you go to this hypothyroid mode, that's when your hair starts falling out and you get constipated, poor libido, your skin gets dry, and your brain doesn't work. You have brain fog and it doesn't feel good. And so the real goal is to be able to consume the protein you need. So ladies, ideally the first 15 to 30 minutes of waking, get a little bit of protein and remind your body, okay, now you're getting close to that full break fast or breakfast. If you want to go work out and get your exercise in, then come eat a good breakfast. Ideally aiming for about 40 to 50 grams of protein in the morning. And then for lunch, do the same thing. Make sure you're getting your fiber in. 25 grams of fiber, so good for your liver, good for your heart. And then at night, that's when you can eat more carbohydrates. It's really good because you'll get more serotonin, you sleep a little deeper, just that pulse of some of these resistant starches. So I like cooking my rice or potatoes, cooling them off, putting them in the fridge overnight, and then using them the next day for our food. And it makes a really good resource for glycogen storage in your liver. So at night, if you're waking up, it's usually because your blood sugar is spiking. And if you're waking up periodically through the night, now that's damaging your metabolic system. And so retatrutide, while it works on the metabolic system, it's really important that you have these lifestyle things in place, making sure you're exercising more frequently, because when you exercise, you're also turning on what's called GLUT4. This is a transporter where you get glucose into the cell, where it can be used as energy. And so the other thing that activates your metabolic function is this ability to use fat as an energy source. And so you can use sugar or glucose as an energy, you can use fat. By using glucagon, you're now going to be using fat as an energy source. The other thing that can activate your fat, so it's more metabolically active, is when you do cold plunges. And so I love putting my body under challenges. So every year I have a certain health challenge, and I'm trying to decide if I want to bring this habit into my future. And so cold plunging, while I don't do it every day, I do it 2 or 3 times a week. And what that does is it turns on that white fat where the mitochondria are just inactive, and it turns on the beige fat. So you get more mitochondrial burn, which also improves your metabolism. So think of retatrutide as a complete upgrade for the systems. Just like you would need to upgrade your phone, you need to upgrade your computer, retatrutide is that upgrade. And if you're somebody who is looking to upgrade your entire body operation system, then go to agelessfuture.com. Click on the link. You can schedule your free intro call. Our health ascension specialist will help you decide if Ageless Future is right for you. They'll get your blood labs ordered for you, get you with our provider. And that's when the operating system gets fun, because we can start understanding what the root cause is, where your interferences are, and what your goals are. All right, I'm Regan Archibald. I'll see you on the next video.